like he films everything. Like he'll film a deer and be like, "Oh my God, it's a deer."
I wanted to film a deer today, but I didn't bring it.
He's the reason that film is so high in price because he buys it all the time.
That's funny. Oh, I'm shaking the car.
So long.
But yeah, if you want to do the book, the OS,
Hollywood OS. Amazing.
I'll look it up.
There's not much to look online with. So
yeah, I've been looking online for like casting calls.
Is that cat still looking? Oh yeah, I hope they don't have bulb tires or you're screwed. For some reason cats always like to... Come on, let's get out of the street, hey? Come on. Come on, Sylvester. You'll sit down in the middle of the street. Come on. Come on, Sylvester. Hey Tim, call Sylvester. She's nosy, she'll be in the... She likes to get involved with everything. She jumped in the car, I didn't know it. I was driving to work, I had to turn the whole way around, she was inside the car.
I'm only credited in 2, so I'm not famous. I wish I had been. No. I'm not famous.
You don't have to be famous, you got a SAG card.
But to see your name on a credit, on a film, is like...
That's why I want to.
Well, let's go find that gold.
I gotta go. He's sitting there idling. We gotta get back to work. What I came down to tell you.
Let's go look at.
All right, well, nice to meet you, Tim.
Yeah.
I'll get you the book, man. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna film this because I. This is a MCAT camera. It's completely shot.
Like that.
It's completely shot. And I said, "Can I buy it?" He said, "No, they got to put it on auction." Well.
We gotta go down and film some of the characters down onto the bridge. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Oh yeah.
I do realize that the city's getting ready to do some work. They haven't moved the pole yet.
No, I don't think so.
My problem is that I'm having a problem with a tow dolly, a tow bar, a trailer, but I got one on Monday coming in now.
Good. What I want to do is,
we're gonna drop it
I want to get this. I want to get the white truck started.
Yeah.
And then I can move it under the tree.
Okay.
Because
why don't we just push it or tow it?
Well.
I
want to get it running.
You want to back it under the tree so you can work on it?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
What's the matter with it?
Nothing. It just hasn't. I'm going to get some fresh gas and put in it, and put a battery in it, and it'll turn over.
Okay. You must have aired up the tires when
No, I didn't.
Looks like it's aired up.
The only one that was low is this one, I think, and that's about where it was.
Bring the air tank down.
Because what happened was, my small little Chinese-made air compressor must have had a little shut-off deal, because it would shut off when it would be really warm. So I figured, well, I'll just shut it off and let it cool, and I'd put some more air in.
Are the keys still in the damn ashtray to this thing?
Yeah, you might want to take them.
How you doing?
I put them in the ashtray.
Cool.
I put them in there so you know where they are.
I need to start working on that truck, man.
Did you get the keys?
No, I just left them in there.
Why don't you close the ashtray?
Huh?
Just for the hell of it.
Still got the same seat cover. Everything is the same.
It's the whole same.
This truck is so freaking
And look,
cool.
you got the coordinates for the gold.
I do.
You do. You got them right there.
That's map grid 15.
Now what we got?
27G is the grid.
Okay.
15 map on
the
the
Okay, get the map and get your little metal. Yeah, that too. And let's go up and see if we can high grade. You know, you're talking about it.
You know what? It all burned down about 2 years ago.
Well, that's even better. The nuggets will all be melted together.
That's all melted together.
It'll be all melted together.
But the Packard and the cash will be gone.
Is there a Packard and a cash up there?
There's a Packard up there.
Oh shit!
36 Packard convertible sitting up there.
Well, it could still be. That could still be hauled away.
The story is, in the 30s, they buried all of their cash before they went to prison, and 2 of them died in prison. The other one stayed in prison until, I guess, for life.
So the money's all burned.
Their cash stash is in there, and all of the guys' cars, the gang's cars, are inside of this little mining cave they have up there. And all we know is that the story is from 5 other guys who've been studying this for years that there's a 36 Packard convertible in there. The one that looks like a big arrow.
Oh, cool.
Sitting in there. And we're talking about a car that was probably driven from Missoula to the mine and parked. Because it's all getaway. That's all it is. And you're filming this.
Great.
So don't let anybody see this. Map grid, in case I die.
Okay.
It's map grid 15, grid 47G. It's map 15 for the Bitterroot Valley. What is that? Ravalli County or Bitterroot Valley? My house.
Best.
Okay, map grid 15 for Granite Creek, and it's 47G is the grid you have to go to. That's the square it's on.
So what we'll do is we'll go look it up.
All right.
We could make a movie of it while we do it.
That'd be interesting how we got rich.
We could do like a documentary movie. I'm serious.
Then I'd be able to afford that damn Hollywood OS book for your son. 20 bucks. I'll find a way to get it though. He seems pretty cool.
He's a cool kid,
really
you know.
He irritated the hell out of me. I had to get away from him.
You know what's? I'm gonna turn it off now.
What's that?
Say hi.
Hello. Or he is. He's got. Well, you got one. He just got rid of one. He's got another one right now, and it's got a slight. We're not sure if it's low end or a lifter. We can't tell. But it runs like a raped ape. Now, if we were gonna just list it and sell it as a cheap runner, we'll part it out. Are you interested in one of the Cougars?
I like Cougar.
It's a nice looking Cougar. It's a 90.
I had a nice Cougar, man. It was an '89.
This is a 90.
That's what I like that.
Is your Taurus?
Somebody came up. I was on the. How you doing? Come on. Sylvester, what's up? Psst, psst, psst. Come on. Come on, Sylvester. Come on. Come on. Poor little guy. You're welcome. You got a bell too, don't you? Yeah. Bio Bizarro. Dun dun. The drama. The reality. The stress. The humanity. 3 girls in a trailer. Lorianne, blonde, buxom, 3 exes. Steve, the accountant. Wayne, the grease monkey, in the service station outside Tupelo, Mississippi. Fang, the biker dealer, slangs meth, crack, and whatever in the deep southeast. Dun dun, the squalor. Dun dun. Strippers by night, single housewives by day. A must-see movie. 3 girls in an Airstream trailer. Jolene and her twin sister Bolene, born in a restroom outside of New Orleans. Bolene named by her mom, Justina Lean. Mom, who could read the box on the commode. Bolene. Imagine that. The drama, the stress, the reality, the raw emotional humanity. Don't miss 3 girls in an Airstream. A must-see saga of squalid depravity. Another street legal production. Defuncto production. Dysfunctional gonzo reproduction. Clem, the one-legged owner of the trailer park, the strip club Volvine's Oasis, just next to the Bio Bizarro, home of an extremely old alligator known by the locals as Old Man Liver, for his penchant for poultry giblets. Volvine, owner of Volvine's Oasis, a roadhouse adjacent to the Bio Bizarro. Good-natured leader of the Volvine Rangers. Lorene, Jolene, and Bolene. Dun dun. Experience the wacky hijinks of Volvine's Oasis. Dun dun. Buford, the bouncer, keeping the bar in line. Clem's wife, Bohemelina, who aspires to be a stripper by day, one day, someday in her dreams. Now I gotta find number 3. I think I gotta go back here. Bosifissimo, the 13-year-old albino offspring of Clem and Bohemelina, spends his days picking the banjo, which, having only 1 string, does limit his repertoire. Puts a catch in his get-along, so to speak. Dreaming of his future at the car wash, he entertains and serenades the geriatric giblet-hungry alligator who ruminates and dreams of poultry, livers, hearts, and gizzards. Betty Lou Barbette listens to Bosifissimo covertly across the Bio Bizarre as she checks her traps and trot lines. As she retrieves a crawdad trap, she notices a change in the music. Bosifissimo has left the building, so to speak. Betty Lou Barbette secretly dreams of wedding Bosifissimo, who of course is completely oblivious. As he meanders back to the trailer court, banjo slung over his shoulder, Bosifissimo spots Volvine, Jolene, Bolene, Lorene, Irene, and Maureen skinny dipping in the bayou in preparation for the upcoming evening performance. On the finger-printed greasy brass pole that graces the small stage off of the dance floor adjacent to the back bar that was salvaged from a vacant antebellum home. Rowdy patrons were not really a problem. Billy Bob Flambeau, a Cajun who would pole his P-row up the bayou from his abode on stilts. He dreamed of courting Bolene to marry and move in with him in the stilt house on the swamp, tend the trap lines, and pull the crawfish cages. He would put coins in the jukebox and listen to Doug Kershaw songs, Diggy Diggy Lie, Diggy Diggy Low, Louisiana Man, and Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde. Listen to that. The bartender served the beer and refilled the whiskey bottles from the still. He ran behind the 1958 school bus, parked on the lot next to the bar. Bubba Joe Fontaine would read James Lee Burke novels and look through the characters in the novel, trying to find a long-lost girlfriend. Relative Zydeco Pete would play Jolie Blonde on his accordion for tips on the deck outside the bar. When not singing, he would challenge Bubba Joe to play Mumbly Peg on the deck with a Bowie knife. You had to be pretty good to keep your toes. Each night molded into the nest. Each night molded into the nest. In an endless milieu of ennui and boring, tedious passing of the time, the girls, led by Volvine, would assemble and take turns dancing to the jukebox for $1 bills as they simultaneously disrobed to the rhythm of Jolie Blonde, Louisiana Man, Sweet Home Alabama, the Orange Blossom Special. As they gyrated and lost closing, they zoned out and the night moved on. Bubba Joe would daydream of Laurie eloping with him to Daytona, where he could become a NASCAR driver. As Bubba Joe dreams of stock car heaven, Clem calls on his cow moo into the shed. Millie Lou provides milk and fertilizer for Clem. Nanny Gazzola also produces and provides milk and fertilizer. The rooster, Roosevelt, crows softly at random throughout the day. The hens provide eggs and exercise. Roosevelt dreams of the rescue by Plymouth Rock hens. Millie Lou dreams of Festus, the three-legged bull at the adjacent farm. Nanny Gazula, having been invaded in axe handle accident, dreams of nothing at all. Cletus Jim Bob was deprived of one half of his right hand index finger, and as he states, he can no longer count 10 on my fingers, only 9.5. Thus he used his index finger and thumb and index finger to make it 00 or 01. Billy Ray 1 films his message 01 or 00. This has become digital in base 2 math as well as digitally impaired. It only takes him 1.5 days to compute his gas mileage for the gas holding. Lorene, Volvine, Jolene, and Bolene, Eileen, Justine, Maureen, and Bohameline, Betty Lou Bobette, are skinny dipping in the bayou Bosophilin. Bocephus plays his one-string banjo as the aged alligator munches on a turkey giblet, and they all begin singing Diggy Diggy La, Diggy Diggy Low, Louisiana Man. Clem joined in, and Bubba Joe, holding a paperback James Lee Burke novel, still trying to locate his long-lost girlfriend, joined in. Zydeco Pete showed up with his accordion. Eventually, they all sang Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde, Jolie Blonde. Billy Rob Flambeau hears the music, descends from his stilt house, and poses Pierrot to the sing-along and heartily joins in. Cletus Jim Bob shows up, computer in base 2 with his 9.5 digits. Buford shows up with the Jack's beer in Bertley Moonshine. The population of Bayou Bizarro Parish all join in together singing Jolie Blonde, and the newfound camaraderie slowly overwhelms their individual daily angst, a great journey of achievement, and placid surrender to the fates of the wind. Possibly all will see their dreams come true. Festus, the three-legged bull, Millie, the Lou, the bayou, the bovine amores, and Nana Gazula with Buckaroo the ram joining in, to be continued maybe. actually. Jebediah, hey, here I'm in the wrong one. Rocker the dyslexic raccoon lives in the river and lives in the corner stall of the farmer Jebediah's barn. Jebediah Ted, who shares Millie Lou the cow with Clem, his neighbor. Jebediah Ted considers using Feng Shui as a path to enlightenment and to improve the ambiance of his farm. He's been arranging the relics of the old tractor and the baler to go to the northeast corner. The 1932 Ford Roadster is moved to the southwest corner. The aged rusted disc implement is on the northwest corner, and the antique sickle hay mower is located in the southeast corner. Jebediah considers and ponders the situation. He figures he can concentrate on his left brain, focus on his right brain, visualize his front brain, and enable his back brain meditation. He figures this will improve his dharma and karma. All he needs to do is to achieve this state of mind is a good compass. Jebediah harbors a secret ambition to acquire Clem's farm. Clem will not sell for any amount. Rocker the dyslexic raccoon leaves the barn when Millie Lou the aged cow enters. The two goats tend to scare Rocker raccoon, as well as perhaps the two agri-dudes could combine in a partnership. As well, upon hearing Jolie Blonde, they all converge to the crowded Bayou Bizarro and join in the song. To be continued or not, go figure. Since there is a number 10, Ricardo Española Cubano Arnez, a distant cousin 11 times removed from Lucy's husband Desi Arnez, Ricardo Fernando Arnez secretly gathers 5 female buxom inflatable voluptuous doll Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, Mae West, and the ex-Playboy stripper lady who lived in the Caribbean. He inflates the 5 dolls and wraps them in shrink wrap. A knapsack contains rum and boxes of Cuban cigars, and he's got a couple gallons of water in there. And he surreptitiously paddles his marine craft away from Havana, away from Cuba, towards Miami. A storm drives him across the Gulf to the mouth of the great Mississippi River. He eventually paddles his craft to the Bayou Bizarro. He deflates his he enters the Volvian oasis, where his passing of the Cuban cigars make him a hero. He packs up his raft and moves into the 1958 school bus and settles into the milieu of the matted, you get it, Bayou Bizarre. Fuego Bonzo Dorez, the white van, drives his white van along the blue highways of the country. He fills his vehicle with stray dogs. Pomeranians are his prey. A traumatic encounter as a child had an influence on his attitude. He eventually winds up from the highways and the byways. After every time he'd cross a city line or a state line, he'd take and sell those Pomeranians to the nearest Korean restaurant. Then he'd move on to another state. Eventually he winded his way through the highways and the byways and the blue highways, of course, till he eventually wound on the road that runs adjacent to the Bayou Bizarro. As one of his dogs was catching some water at the edge of the Bizarro Bayou, Well, he didn't last much. The alligator got him. He doesn't confine himself only to poultry. But Thuggo Bonzo moved his van and parked it a little bit away from everybody else. And he decided he'd go and hang out and see what's going on in the Bayou Bizarro. Now, Hugo Bonzo was not a nice person. Obviously, you can tell that when he takes those Pomeranians and feeds them to the hungry Koreans across the state line. I wonder if there's a man act or a dog act to prevent crossing state lines for sexual pleasures, what there is for people, but maybe for cuisine. After all, canine cuisine crossing a state line, going from one state to the other, and being sold to Korean restaurants or Chinese restaurants, or basically restaurants that cater to people that tend to eat animals that we don't. Everybody knows about the restaurants that get shut down for having cat pelts in the dumpsters. But the imposition of Hugo Bonzo to the milieu of the Bayou Bizarro is causing some kind of stir in the karmic, dharmic reality and shimmering field of the combined collective and subconscious and conscious brainwaves of the people who live their lives in the Bayou Bizarro and tend to just live their lives moving along, cleaning their trap lines, having their fun, playing mumbly peg on the deck, listening to Zydeco Pete on his accordion. There is a darker moment that has inflicted itself into the mental reality of a one paradise of conglomeration of people who have come from all over to spend their life in the magic spell of the Bayou Bazaar. It's a amalgamation of lost souls who have combined together to act as one. And it seems that there is a rent in the universal time-space continuum that has caused a change in the reality and the surreality of their lives. This finite point in the space-time continuum is causing some havoc in the dimensional reality and surreality. Several dimensions are being rent in this space-time continuum, being a little bit interfered with by the darkness of Hugo Bonzo, Thuggo Bonzo. This is involving several dimensions, which makes it a little bit tricky when you have parallel universes, because every now and then the timeline veers off, alters the reality of and the surreality of the situation. And who knows? One dimension might have James Lee Brooks' novel that has the lost girlfriend as a character, and she might actually come to life as a reality of the person who's been on a quest. James Lee Brooks' characterizations with all the with him and Cletus, There's got to be one of them characterizations of a nice fine fox, a female, that'll fill the bill of our lovesick character. In the meantime, we have Fernando Arnaz living in the 58 school bus adjacent to the still where they recycle and utilize the distillery to manufacture some really fine moonshine that they tend to fill the bottles with and bring them back to the Bio Bizarro Volvine's Oasis. And Volvina Quinn, Laureen, Volvine, Boline, and Maureen, and Valvoline. She was married in a gas station. She was born in a gas station, Valvoline. And her mom, that's the first thing she saw after she was born in the gas station. It was like 17 miles out of Paducah. And there was a Valvoline sign outside the window. Kind of bothered her a little bit. So every now and then when she said her name was Valvoline, somebody would say, "What kind of filter are you on?" She never did get the joke, but that's otherwise somebody should explain that to her. So Thurgood Bonzo has got his imposition of his dark side, which he hides fairly well. Oddly enough, people are starting to notice the fear vibration of the animal life of the Bio Bizarro. Animals have much more collective consciousness. There's a gentleman that can predict earthquakes by just looking for the increase in the lost animals in the Los Angeles lost and found pages in the classified. He can pretty much figure out that when there's a rapid increase, there's an earthquake on the way, and he's usually correct. I think he's always correct. But the Bio Bizarro has a tendency to take care of itself, kind of like one of them inner tubes that when you puncture it with a nail, it still contains enough air to get you home. So you got everybody in the Bio Bizarro in that nice little oasis away from the actual hard day-to-day lifestyle of the majority of people in the millennium 2001 up to 2009, coming up on 2012. They've noticed this rent in the time-space continuum because there's a sense of unease that is following the people of Bio Bizarro, and now just kind of trying to maintain their lives, keep on keeping on, dance to the jukebox. Eventually they'll be able to figure out that Thurgood Bonzo is not a nice person. There'll be a missing of pets. They try to blame it on the alligator.
Jack, nobody's listening.
I'm filming, would you please be quiet? Now I gotta stop. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well I gotta stop and rewind.
I thought you were talking to
I'm talking to the camera. It's a lot easier than writing it. And I'm going to rewind it now a little bit. Actually, I'll stop it and rewind it. Thurgood Bonzo drives his white van around the town, heads out Drives up the bayou, does a little bit of fishing, decides to fit in, so buys himself a couple of traps, crawfish traps, maybe some regular traps. He tended to not really think too much about Pomeranians, since there ain't any Pomeranians in Bio Bizarro. There could be possibly, they'd have some dogs with some Pomeranian blood in them. We really can't tell. There's a lot of dogs and cats. Some people have pet monkeys. There's one monkey that is a mascot in the Volvine's Oasis. They've trained him to take out the spittoon when it's full and dump it behind the building. He learned how to dance to Diggy Diggy Lie and Diggy Diggy Low and Louisiana Man. And all kinds of songs. Jolie Blanc. Another Cajun song. Gets the rhythm down right. Zydeco Pete when he gets into Jolie Blanc, and when you get this Doug Kershaw and Diggy Diggy Lie and Louisiana Man. The monkey has no name anybody knows of. He just happened to wander in the bar one day. Nobody knows who owned him. Probably some tourist driving through had a pet monkey, got away. He just hangs around. People feed him. They feed him popcorn. Feed him a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Give him some of them fine ribs you get down in Louisiana. Have some little crawdads. Grits on the potatoes. He learned how to eat all that good stuff. And he used to wander around the bar collecting tips for Zydeco Pete. Sometimes he'd sit on Zydeco Pete's shoulder. Sometimes he'd sit on the accordion when things got really rocking. You'd see that monkey just dodging those little folds. He'd jump off the accordion and land on the table. People would just laugh. I guess we'll just call him Bio the Bizarro Monkey. He could feel the vibration in the rent in the space-time continuum in Biotesh, Louisiana. Bio Bizarro Tesh, Louisiana. All was not right. In what had been a pastoral bucolic lifestyle, things have altered. And eventually, Fego Bonzo will get the message and sort of just move on down the line a little bit. He'll find another place to park his van. He can sense the fact that he really doesn't fit in, although he has figured out a way to exist with his van and check on his crawdad tribes. He went to found himself an old guitar. He picked on a little bit. And that's about it for Bio Bizarre. One day, he decided he would skin all of his cats, which was kind of a good thing, and have it tanned. And he wound up using taxidermy for his lifestyle, maybe make a little money. So he would catch and trap the muskrats with his trap line and catch the minks and all the other animal life, and he became a pretty good taxidermist. The fact that he only had one finger on one hand made it a little difficult for him to play the guitar, but he could thumb and pick with it. He could use his index finger and his thumb Fortunately, his left hand all fingers, but he could do a pretty good job of finger picking. And he could do some taxidermy. Every now and then people notice that some of the stuffed animals bear a striking resemblance to some of their missing pets. And eventually, everybody in town recognizes one of the animal pets. Fortunately, Rocker the raccoon's been smart enough to stay in the barn. Bio Bizarro monkey, he's smart enough to stay in the barn. Now, you can get some of the foxes and some of the local small alligators and some of the cottonmouths. The taxidermist would take the skin of a cottonmouth and he'd put it in a sort of a gothic position of attacking one of the stuffed animals that might fall his way into the Bio Bizarro, or the water on down the next bio. But they just called the next bio, nobody named it. But anyhow, that's an interesting, sort of an interesting to me. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going. Now we've got another deal. Of course, it's a humor deal here. We were going to have aardvark tongue hors d'oeuvres, but I couldn't find any 9-inch crackers. I ordered a hoagie with the works, found a syringe inside. These buffalo jokes. Oh, you just one before about the counting to 10. Yeah. I used to use my fingers and count to 10. Since the router accident, I can only count to 9.5. So I circle the index finger on each hand for 0, 0, or extend the middle index for right hand for 0, 1. Now I'm binary on the base 2 system, you might say. Digital, well, maybe digital impaired as well. I only have 9.5 digits left, so you go like this and count them. If I change the 4/4 beat tunes to 3/4 beat and inflate the tempo, I could get more songs into the set, or not. I perceive politicians as empty suits with blue striped suits with pale blue shirts and maroon ties. And their lips are moving, they're lying. Yep, to salesmen, people believe that if you're wearing a blue pinstripe suit with a maroon tie on a pale blue shirt, wearing Oxford wingtips black, they will tend to believe you what you sell. That's why all the politicians decided to wear those. And they're all empty suits now that lick the fingers of opinion and run their votes accordingly, and then have their hand behind their back for the payout. And so that's that. Hello, Cat. How you doing? Mr. Sylvester. Come here, Sylvester. All right, there's There used to be a comedian named Lord Buckley who had all kinds of routines. He used to smoke a lot of weed and say, "You can have anybody I want, my woman, my money, but you stay away from my grass." He used to live in Cleveland, Ohio, and knew a man from Buffalo that knew him. Said that he used to meet girls at the bus stops and they become so enthralled they'd wind up going home with him. Had a deal about one time he was riding down the street in his car. Next thing you know, it comes along to a trolley track and whoop, there he is down the trolley. And he looks around and says, "Whoa, here I am, president of my own railroad." That was one of his jokes. Yeah. Well, right now we're going to end this with the beginning of the show, which is the trailer of the film Bio Bizarro. Dun dun, the drama. Dun dun, the reality, the stress, the humanity. 3 girls in a trailer: Laureen, blonde, buxom, 3 exes: Steve the accountant, Wayne the grease monkey in the service station outside Tupelo, Mississippi, Fang the biker dealer, slangs meth, crack, and whatever in the deep southeast. Boom, boom, the squalor. Dum dum, strippers by night, single housewives by day. A must-see movie: 3 girls in an airstream. Redhead Jolene and her twin sister Bolene, born in a restroom outside of New Orleans. Bolene named by her Justine Eileen mom, who could read the box on the commode. The drama, the stress, the reality, the raw emotional humanity. Don't miss 3 girls in an airstream, a must-see saga of squalid depravity. Another street legal production, defuncto production, dysfunctional reproduction, gonzo reproduction, and dysfunctional and a Bio Bizarro production. Hasta luego, la taco enchilada. I hope I didn't run on. No. Yeah, stuff. Oh crap. What's wrong with that anyway? Come on. There's a dog coming. Come on. Hey, Sylvester, what's up? the street, you guys. There's cars. It's a detour here.